Oh, hey guys, didn't see you there. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Reject. Hey guys, I'm Ryan Wright.
It's like Memento where you start at the end.
Yeah.
I'm Jerry.
This is Jerry. So we're gonna do the phase 2 of Honest Trailers in honor of Avengers Age of Ultron. Why talk anymore? Let's get to it with Iron Man 3. I really dug this film. Second time I watched it.
Okay.
When a terrorist mastermind kidnaps the president and brings a country to its knees, there's only one Marvel franchise that Disney can afford to call. I wish.
Nope.
Actually, just this guy. No, really. Just the guy. Not even the suit. Tony Stark is regular man in Iron Man 3. Prepare for an Iron Man movie with hardly any Iron Man in it. And no AC/DC either. Suit up with billionaire Tony Stark as he doesn't suit up in a summer blockbuster that for no reason at all takes place on Christmas, and see him like you've never wanted to see him before.
Shane Black movie.
Insecure.
Black loves
I'm a piping hot mess.
Anxious.
Check the heart, check the, is it the brain?
And paralyzed with fear.
God, what are we gonna do?
With regular man sidelined by the whispers of children.
How did you get out of the wormhole?
It's up to his latest creation to save the day. Remote Control Man.
This is a new level of lame.
You've seen the Iron Man armor hold its own against Thor, the God of Thunder. Now, after dozens of upgrades, it runs out of batteries,
I need to sleep now, son.
constantly malfunctions, falls apart again, falls apart again,
Yeah.
falls apart again,
Yeah.
Whatever.
and takes its sweet time to assemble.
Yeah.
That. 5, 4, 3.
Come on!
2, 5.
Seriously, the Avengers assembled faster than this. But Remote Control Man's not alone. Tony spent his downtime building all kinds of robots that break faster than bad cosplay. Like Forearms Man, Choking Hazard Man, and Crane Steadying Juggernaut Man. Tony and his crappy suits must pull together to face his greatest foe since alcoholism. The Mandarin.
You'll never see me coming.
In a timely update of the character, Osama bin Kingsley plays the brilliant terrorist who manipulates the entire country into doing his bidding.
My name's Trevor Slattery.
Wait, what?
I'm an actor. The Mandarin. See, it's not real.
No, you can't do that.
Yes, you can.
They were doing such a good job, then they turned him into a punchline? This is Iron Man's arch f***ing nemesis. This isn't just ignoring the comics. This is dropping their pants and wiping their butt with him. What bad guy did they even replace him with?
I am the Mandarin!
Oh, come on! Instead, we get Aldrich Killian, an ex-nerd out for revenge after Tony skipped a meeting one time, and his new replacement with a confusing grab bag of fire powers. Like, glowing, getting hot, exploding, super strength, regrowing limbs, flame-proof clothes, and shooting fire out of their mouths? They really just made it up as they went along, huh? Witness the least thought-out sequence of the Iron Man trilogy, as Tony Stark gives his personal address to a terrorist.
10880 Malibu Point.
Then goes home and puts on his only unfinished Iron Man suit. Lets someone walk through his front door. Doesn't see the missile heading for his house until it's on the news. Still doesn't activate any kind of home security system, or any of the 40 other remote-controlled Iron Man suits in his basement, or have Jarvis call the police, or S.H.I.E.L.D., or an Avenger. So you're telling me Nick Fury shows up for coffee and donuts, but not when Tony Stark might be dead? So watch as the Iron Man trilogy ends with 10 of the franchise's most disappointing minutes, where Killian loses to Gwyneth Paltrow in yoga pants. All the Iron Man suits get blown up for no reason, and Tony has the operation that will make him regular man forever. At least until Avengers 2. Starring R2-DJ, Cooper Hero, Gandhi, Nerdy Memento, Murtaugh, Vincent Vega, and the worst extra ever.
When is somebody gonna kill this guy? Just saying.
And not starring the Hulk, Thor, Captain America, Nick Fury, Black Widow, Hawkeye, Agent Coulson, Agent Maria Hill, Selvig, or even the Galaga guy. Iron Man 3.
So you heard none of it?
I'm not that kind of doctor.
Dude, where were you the whole movie? Hey, Screen Junkies,
I don't agree with a lot of that.
Okay.
I agree with all of that the first time I watched it.
Okay.
The second time I watched it about a week ago,
Yeah.
I was like, this is a great film.
Is it really?
I think it's fantastic because there was Tony Stark in the first Iron Man, and then in Iron Man 2, it was like a lot of Iron Man stuff. But then part 3, you know, like I think about that question in the Avengers that Cap asks him. I call him Cap because I'm like best friends.
Because
with
we,
that
we hang out on
Captain
weekends.
America asks him when he says, "Without the suit, what are you?" And I think in Iron Man 3, he really proves that. And I don't have a problem with the suits falling apart either.
He has PTSD.
But he does so much as regular man,
Yeah.
and he becomes efficient, you know. So I like how he had to like lose the suit but rebuild so much stuff, and I thought it was cool when he broke into like the Mandarin's home and stuff.
Yeah, I like that. And their complaints are usually about like, oh, there's not enough Iron Man. And I'm usually like, yeah, no, more Tony. So,
Yeah.
you know, I like that stuff. And I'm in the minority, but I like the Mandarin twist. I thought that was great.
The first time I saw Mandarin Twist, you know how much I hated it.
Yeah, I know.
The second time I watched it, like just because I started from phase 1 and then got to there, just ignoring all comic books and just taking it for what it is, I like it. It's a total twist. I could get how from the comic book perspective, yeah, it's fucked up. It's a total fucking twist, and you don't see it coming. You'll never see me coming. I saw for the first time yesterday Marvel one-shot, All Hail the King. It's of Trevor in prison. It's brilliant. It makes you think like, wait a minute, this guy... It's about him in prison after he's been captured.
This is like a featurette or something?
It's a short film
Oh.
starring Ben Kingsley. You see that maybe this guy is actually the Mandarin, but he's kind of lost his mind. Like, maybe he doesn't remember just what he's done. Maybe it's just a bunch of split personalities.
That's a can of worms.
It is a can of worms. Iron Man's like addicted to the suits in this movie. It's a distraction. Yeah, he's shooting the suits into it. Literally at the beginning, he's shooting a microchip into his arm. So when he lets go of the suits and he destroys all them, he's saying like, I'm ready to let go now, move on.
Learns how to be a man again.
Yeah, and like he gets rid of the chest plate thing, so he's learning not to be dependent anymore on these things. So I actually respect the ending. And I thought it was cool that Gwyneth Paltrow had a chance to like kick some ass in the end. So, and it's funny too. It's a really funny movie.
And well, it's like funny, but also darker than.
Yeah, and I like seeing
rest
Tony
of it.
go through those stresses because it made sense, and at the same time, it made him more relatable.
Yeah.
I didn't feel so distant from Tony in this one, you know?
Yeah, you know, I totally feel like he understands me
I felt really connected to Tony.
completely. My superior intellect and skills for technology.
But if there's one thing I learned about Robert Downey Jr., don't ask him about his personal life. Okay, next one. Thor: The Dark World.
Woo!
Much shorter, honest trailer. Yo, I invite you into my home.
I didn't say anything.
You just gotta keep your mouth shut when you're here. Mike's on, right?
I hope so.
Yeah.
You've seen Thor, the film that tided fans over until the Avengers. Now experience the film that will tide fans over until the Avengers 2. Thor: The Dark World.
I really like this movie.
Thor is back in another perfectly adequate Marvel movie that pleasantly killed a few hours of your time with enough cool visuals, action, and humor to keep you from wondering, why does the Elfman want to shoot magic Kool-Aid into the sky holes? Return for another post-Avengers movie full of references to the Avengers,
You were in New York. That was for New York.
but no actual Avengers. Instead of Earth's mightiest heroes, watch Thor team up once again with Heimdall, the watchful guardian who can see everything.
Idris
Elba,
Elba!
the spy, and Thor's girlfriend,
I can't see her.
and this gigantic spaceship directly above him.
And the frostbite in the
Warriors
first
3,
one.
who are so replaceable they switched out one of the actors and you totally didn't notice.
Nope.
And everyone's favorite, Loki, the charismatic trickster who no one should trust by now.
You still don't trust me, brother, would you?
No, idiot. When he's not battling yet another forgettable bad guy, watch as the mighty Thor mopes around Asgard in a Snuggie because he's still hung up on a girl he spent one long weekend with and hasn't called in 2 years.
Where were you?
Natalie Portman returns as Jean Grey from the X-Men Phoenix Saga. With the help of her wacky sidekick, her other wacky sidekick, and her other wacky sidekick's wacky sidekick, they'll discover the convergence, a piece of science mumbo
A lot of
jumbo
wacky
everyone
sidekicks.
keeps trying to explain.
Once a cycle, all the worlds align.
The alignment is only temporary. He must be in exactly the right place at the right time.
physics is gonna go ballistic. Increases and decreases in gravity, spatial extrusions.
Whatever. Can we just see Thor hit something with a hammer again? Thank you. Travel across the 9 realms, ranging from Earth to Vanaheim to
I have no idea how to say
to
that.
Asgard, home of the most impenetrable city ever. So ride along with the God of Thunder.
We are not gods.
So ride along with the Guy of Thunder for another celebration of the male form in all its beauty, featuring ass, tush, and pixelated balls. Starring Gale's brother, Natalie Portwoman, For Loki, Goldeneye, The Nutty Professor, and Oscar, Ken Jennings, Stanley, and Mugatu. Thor, The Dark World.
Now you're thinking with portals.
Hey,
That was funny. That was funny. They don't really dog the movie that much. I really like Thor: The Dark World a lot.
We had a good time.
They're watching porn over there. I really... That's a serious thing.
Pornography store. I was buying pornography.
I kind of want to be there, actually.
Listen, I'll do the rest of these. You go over there and have fun.
So with Thor: The Dark World, I love that, yeah, it honors that title. It's much darker. I think it was shot better, in my opinion. I know you really like those shots that Kenneth Branagh likes to do with
like those
what are they
Dutch
called?
angles,
Dutch angles, yeah. But in Thor: The Dark World, I love the cinematography. I thought
Yeah,
the
shot
visuals
well, yeah.
were better. Thor actually has his powers for most of the movie.
Well, and it's even more down that fantasy hole, you know. It's
Totally.
more of that production design, and it's more of that, you know, swords and shields and all sorts of
I
stuff.
like that, like how it's a mixture of like you feel a lot of Star Wars tribute in there. It's like pure sci-fi fantasy.
Well, and even elements of like Lord of the Rings and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, you know. It's like I think more of actually of Lord of the Rings than I do of Star Wars when I watch this.
I like also that was my favorite performance of Loki.
Yeah.
Out of like the 3 Loki roles we've gotten, that was my favorite one.
Well, because in the Thor movies, he gets to be more of a character,
Yeah.
and you get a little more exploration.
And I thought they made Natalie Portman a little more interesting. But I love
And I gotta say, I really hate that moment when she travels through the portal and becomes wacky character inexplicably for like 10 minutes.
sometimes her comedy felt a little forced.
Especially in that moment where
Yeah.
she's like, let's do that again! I'm like, no,
But I like
that's not your character though.
But I thought the action was great. Marvel's
Action's good.
known to not really do great with their villains, but I like the villain in this one.
Well, I like all their villains, it's just that not all of them are scary or like truly formidable.
Yeah, you don't really remember them that much.
But I really like Chris Eccleston, like, you know, I thought he did a good job. It's in the writing. It's hard to make a villain truly scary when we know that
Thor's
our
gonna be
heroes
okay.
are going to be here next time because our entire money-making system rides on that.
I do really like what they did with one of the wacky sidekicks. Who's the scientist guy again, the actor?
Oh, Stellan Skarsgård.
Yeah, I like how they changed his character in this. Because in the first one, he's like very serious, you know, the one who's supposed to doubt all it. In the Avengers, you know, he was being mind warped. But then in this one, they're taking that and they made him like
He's kooky.
a genius, crazy guy.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
was so much more fun to watch, more
Yeah, it looked like he
distinguished.
was having fun.
Yeah, I really enjoyed him in that. And you don't really see him go all out with comedy.
Yeah.
He's usually some creepy dude.
Or serious, just a serious.
Yeah, we're talking about fishing and Nymphomaniac. All right, let's move on to the next one. Next ones are Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Guardians. We're not really going to talk too much about these because we already have like spoiler reviews up for them, and I already have like my own solo reviews up for Guardians and Winter Soldier. I know my opinions haven't changed, so if you want to know what we have to say about it, just go check those videos out.
Yeah.
But I do want to see the honest trailers for them.
You weren't that impressed with his first movie. He wasn't your favorite Avenger. Now, get ready for the sequel that made everyone say, holy shit, who knew Captain America kicked so much ass? Captain America, the Winter Soldier. The captain is back, and he didn't skip leg day.
He did become like an expert martial artist there.
Man, he's had some time.
Thrill as he ditches his lame Avenger suit for a cool new one.
Yeah.
And shows off the full range of his vaguely defined superpowers, like super gymnastics, super throwing, super catching, and super jumping out of stuff.
Is he wearing a parachute?
When he's not kicking ass or taking names, follow Cap as he spends his free time freaking out kids at museums, hanging with his gilf, and catching up on the last 60 years of pop culture.
I'll put it on the list.
Man, Star Wars must have blown his mind.
Ah!
When Hydra returns, Cap needs to take him out by forming a team he can trust, including Black Widow, a sneaky double agent who he really shouldn't trust, and Falcon, a random guy he met on the street.
Sam Wilson. Steve Rogers.
Watch as Cap and two non-superheroes end up actually kicking a lot of ass together in a really entertaining, well-directed movie. But we have to be honest, it's good. But since Honest Trailers is a comedy series, get ready for nitpicking. Prepare for the shocking revelation that Hydra has been secretly growing inside of S.H.I.E.L.D. all along, despite the fact that the previous Marvel movies really didn't do anything to set that up. And get ready to try to ignore questions like, when did Nick Fury stop wearing the bulletproof vest that saved his life in the Avengers? Why didn't Tony Stark find out about Hydra when he decrypted all of S.H.I.E.L.D.'s files?
In a few hours, I'll know every dirty secret S.H.I.E.L.D. has ever tried to hide.
How did an agency that employs thousands of people hide the fact that half of its agents were members of a secret Nazi death cult for over 60 years? If S.H.I.E.L.D. had their hands on the Tesseract for so long, why didn't Hydra just use that to take over the world? That was the Red Skull's plan in the first place, right? And he was the OG Hydra. And if Nick Fury was such a threat, why didn't Hydra try to kill him before he saved Tony Stark's life, thought out their greatest enemy, and assembled a team of superheroes that would almost certainly stop any evil plans they had for the future? See, we told you it'd be nitpicking. So sit back and enjoy the best standalone Marvel movie since Iron Man, full of awesome action, awesome cameos, and one awesome twist they run into the ground, where Bucky turns out to still be alive, and Dr. Zola turns out to still be alive, and Nick Fury turns out to still be alive, and Crossbone turns out to... Okay, no one ever really dies in this movie. Still great though. Starring American Austin Powers, Mad-Eye Moody, Unfrozen Caveman Soldier, Lucy, Falcon Punch, Robert Red Toyota, and Hail Hard Drive, Captain America. He's cool now. So, Cap bets the safety of the free world on two people not wanting to buy gum?
Not a great plan.
Be sure to...
Pretty sweet movie.
Yeah. I'm really glad they didn't bag on it. Let's move on to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I want to go back and rewatch that one.
All right, last one of Phase 2, and then get ready for the Avengers Age of Ultron review.
I promise, and we'll never shoot another.
Okay, we got it. Keep your star pads on.
Okay.
Without the rights to some of its most popular titles and its biggest stars' contracts about to expire, watch Marvel Studios scrape the bottom of the barrel for their obscure 70s comic book that barely anyone read, proving once and for all we'll see anything if you slap Marvel's name in front of it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Suit up for Marvel's attempt at Star Wars in a science fantasy adventure about heroes you've never heard of.
Star-Lord.
Who? Protecting a planet none of them live on from an underdeveloped alien villain whose problems you couldn't care less about. We're really reaching here. This was a fun movie. Journey across the galaxy to meet this gang of lovable misfits. There's Captain Star-Lord from America, the human leader from a different time and place, like Captain America. Gamora, the black widowish leather-clad female assassin, like Black Widow. Drax, the guy with the killer abs who doesn't understand our customs in a Thor kind of way. Groot, a big hulking tree. Get it? And Rocket, the wisecracking tech genius with a drinking problem, like Tony Stark. What I'm trying to say is, they're the Space Avengers, but I guess it's technically not stealing if they're ripping off themselves. Watch the Guardians race to find an excuse for more Avengers sequels by chasing after the Infinity Stone, an orb of world-conquering power that no one bothers to guard, and a gem so powerful it can kill you just by touching it, unless you're this guy. Or you can join hands to disperse its power, unless you're these guys. or you can just jam it into a hammer and use it safely from there. It's best not to think about it too hard. You thought the Avengers was nerdy? You ain't seen nothing yet. Between all the action and comedy, get ready for a whole lot of space mumbo-jumbo.
I will unfurl 1,000 years of Kree justice on Xandar.
What's important now is we get the Ravagers' army to help us save Xandar.
So we can give the stone to Yondu?
And the remnants of these systems were forged into concentrated ingots.
Then, if you can figure any of that out, try to figure out why this blue alien isn't working with this blue alien, who's working for this blue alien, to kill this green alien, who both want to kill this purple alien, as does this Christmas-colored alien. But if you get confused, just remember the hero is still the white guy. So experience the swagger of a movie studio drunk on its own power, as Marvel trolls the world with balls-out middle fingers to the audience they know they have in the palm of their hands. Oh, you like superheroes? Well, how about a movie that stars a fucking raccoon and a fucking tree? You like Vin Diesel? Yeah, well, we cast him and he only says one fucking line.
That's cool.
You want more pedigreed actors? We'll put them in stupid outfits and make them say space bullshit.
All Nova pilots, interlock and form a blockade.
Because who doesn't want to be in a fucking Marvel movie? Hey, recognize that chubby idiot from Parks and Rec? We're gonna turn him into a sex symbol. That would be hilarious. Remember the worst movie we ever made, Howard the Duck? Stick that after the credits when everyone's expecting Avengers 2. It'll totally with our fans and they'll love it anyways. Speaking of which, remember Thanos from that one scene at the end of the Avengers a few years ago? Well, we're bringing him back, and he's still not doing shit. Why? Because f*** you. We're Marvel, that's why. What are you gonna do? Watch DC? Thought so. Starring Marvel Chris number 3, Green Natiri, Drax on, Drax off, Chewbacca, The Coon, Blue Man Group, Dr. Steve Rule, and Darkseid. Marvel Space Avengers. Okay, I get where Star-Lord's Walkman came from, but where do you get a tape deck for a spaceship? Galaxy Shack?
Ha!
Be sure to subscribe for more honest trailer.
Well,
Oh.
that's the adventure. All right, guys. Well, that's it for today. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to The Real Rejects. And you can follow Jerry on this channel, too, Reasons to Jerry. And you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. If we get enough followers, we can get product placement. There's so much I would like to be sponsored by. Pornhub.com, xvideos.com,
I don't think they.
RedTube,
You can't product place that
YouPorn,
stuff unless they send you like a T-shirt.
midgets.
Yeah, but what products do they make besides like streaming porn videos that they didn't make in the first place?
Dildo companies,
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be through Pornhub.
breast enhancement companies,
Get a fleshlight.
tuck-in jobs.
That's just something you do yourself.
Yeah.
That's
and
called
I
like
wanna help-
hand and legs
I wanna help
and not
promote it.
moving a lot.
I want to be able to post Instagram photos of tuck-in jobs.
Well, do it. You have all the means right here.
Follow us.